So I'm going on the Diocese of Oxford Clergy Conference, and you're going to join me. Hi, welcome to the channel. My name is Dan Beasley and I'm a vicar in the Church over England, and you are going to join me for our clergy conference. Because of coronavirus, this clergy conference I think probably would have happened last year, didn't, so it's happening this year. I've been on it once before when I was in training. I went up, but now as I'm got my own parish or parishes, you can check out that video if you want to see about my new place. I am now the rector, going up with a couple of people from my team. I'm going up on my bike here. She is all ready to go. I am going to take my daughter to school and then we'll come down, jump on the bike. I'm going to be a bit late for the start of the conference because my wife works and I need to take my daughter to school. And then so it's a long ride, and I'm actually not going to go up the motorway, so it's about 130 miles away. It'll be 115 miles on the motorway, and that is utterly boring. I don't like riding on the motorway, it's just too boring. So I'm going to go a different direction, different way on the main roads, but that's going to take a tiny bit longer. And the bike's heavy because I've got all my gear packed away in the panniers and then the bit on top, the top box. So the weight distribution is a bit different. So we're gonna go away till, well, it's Tuesday today until Thursday, and spend time together as a clergy from the whole of the diocese. And I think part of the emphasis of the conference is kind of transition, really. It's looking back on the past over the coronavirus. It is tomorrow, reflecting where we are or something, and Thursday is about looking forward. So I'm going to be recording on my phone again to keep weight down, and I'm going to take my camera and all my equipment, so it's on my phone that we will be recording. So I've got to go finish getting ready. I've got to put my gear on. Got to walk at school in all my motorbike gear, but I just want to get off as quick as I can when I get back. So let's go get ready and head up to a place called Swanwick and their Hay Centre, which is a really lovely place, but you're going to see that. So let's go. So I have very obviously hammer hair, so I'm at the conference centre just behind me. Bessie, what I call her after Queen Elizabeth I. Brilliant, just really easy to get here, so much better than the motorway. So a bit later actually, because I was talking to a friend, another vicar friend, on the mobile, and then I put it on my hammock because it was a long conversation from many miles away. So I've only just got here, so I'm going to run in and get my lunch because I'm starving as well. So this is the long walk down my corridor. So now I'm in my room. Don't want to speak too loudly because it doesn't seem like the rooms are really soundproof. I've got a lovely view. Look at that. Lucky me. Anyway, in my room, been up at the conference, listened to someone called Lord Botang to a talk. This afternoon, had coffee, caught up with people, caught up with other clergy that I know. Got a big conference pack with lots of stuff. Talk about being ecological, and we got loads of paper too, but at least we can, I suppose, recycle it or read it. So I'm just having a bit of downtime actually, because the ride up actually was great. I loved the ride up, but riding the bike for 3 hours and there's so much concentration is pretty tiring. So I'm just having some downtime, just speaking to my family, catching up with their day, and at 6 o'clock we got evening prayer. So the kind of format is in the day is to kind of have communion together, lunch, got a keynote speaker in the afternoon, and then break out, so people can do reflective things or go to different groups and do different things. They've got loads on. Come up for evening prayer, and then they got stuff on in the evening, dinner and stuff like that. Tonight I don't think they got much on. I think tomorrow they got like a comedian coming on. It was on British Got Talent or something. Not that I know, because I don't watch that. But last time I did that, it was good. It was good fun. So but there's an opportunity to meet up with the other clergy that we know and catch up, which is great. And I was speaking to a friend and a couple of guys who are vicars in India, and they were just over for a week. And so to speak to them about their churches, and it's crazy because they speak in terms of families. So they go, oh, we got 30 families, or we got 50 families, and it's like in the UK we're just struggling with families. We're absolutely struggling with families. And children. So it's interesting that they speak about families and we'll speak about people. We've got 50 people at our service, and they're going about families. So, and how big the families are, I'm not quite sure. It's funny as well, because I was speaking to the one guy and I said, in your family? He said, I have the one wife. That's my expectation. But it's a different culture, isn't it? So a varied amount of people here, so they invite guests in as well. So what I'm going to do now is just have a bit more downtime, and then I'll just show you a bit across what this place looks like. So it's day 2 of the conference.
And before I rush back to Westminster and all that is taking place there, because it is you, each and every one of you, and the relationship that you have with each other, but above all, the relationship you have by the grace of God with those for whom and whose welfare you have been anointed to care. It is that relationship, more than anything else, that will shape the future.
I just came down by this little lake just here. The main building's just at the top there. My accommodation's just over there. So I had breakfast. They do a cooked breakfast, which is great, and not something that you can have all the time, but it's lovely. And they've just done something called engaging in God's word. But I got talking to a guy from the bookshop, so they got a bookshop here, and looking at books that will help me in my ministry. So I didn't go to that, and was just actually found a good couple of books that will help really us as a church in St Giles to, that passion that I have for every Christian to live out their faith in the community, and for the church to become a worshipping community for God, worshipping Him on Sunday. So that's it. I was looking at books about that and talking, and it's about building up relationships as well, being here with people, seeing people that you know and catching up, and then also people that you don't know, and chatting to them. So I think, because I didn't hear at the start, the bishop said you can come as much to or as little as you want. Don't feel that you need to go to everything, which is good. It's a good permission. And so you feel like you should, on these things, that you should go to everything, but actually some of the fruitful conversations are when you don't go, or those fruitful times when you don't go, you can get a bit of time to yourself. So to now there's coffee, and then they got a bishop coming to speak at 11, and then communion. So actually this morning was really nice, and building a relationship with the guys from St Andrew's Bookshop, and I definitely recommend them for your books. Good independent company, and then just a few miles down the road from us. It's always good to support your local businesses in that way, especially Christian businesses. So yeah, you'll be following me a bit through the day. It's very hard because we are on conference, and people like their space, and recording videos in that is a bit funny. But like I say, show you around, get a bit of a flavour. So now I'm going to go off and get some coffee, and again speak to some people, catch up. But you can see this view is very stunning, peaceful. There's no point in going to a conference and always just doing stuff when you can just come and sit and relax. There's a lot of people that don't get this kind of view. They might be in the city and stuff like that. So to get this space and come and just be able to sit and to be with God and present with Him is a real blessing that we can take for granted when we do have parishes that are like this. So yeah, gotta get my coffee.
And what I want to try and do is to think again about what kind of church we are called to be in this particular moment of our story as a church, our story as a nation, and our own personal lives as well. Because it's been a troubling and a difficult time over the last few years. There was an article in the Times today that said this. It said, everyone appears exhausted after 5 years of Brexit, COVID, the cost of living crisis, culture wars, and political chaos.
The old normal within the church as well as outside of the church does not become normalized in our post-COVID world. Now, the good news is that as Christians we have immense resources to help us think about all these questions. In our scriptures, in our tradition, in our liturgies, in our rituals. Our scriptures are a story of constant change and challenge. The people of God in Scripture are always adapting, changing, responding to circumstances. They're always retelling the story of what God has done in a new world and enabling that story to come into contact with where the world is now. Throughout the Old Testament, you can see the story being retold in different ways at different times. You see that the questions that the story prompts change for different places and circumstances.
So I'm just about to go to evening prayer, and if you can see down there in front, there's not ducks, geese, and family going around just eating loads of grass, and also very randomly next to me, let's change this, some shoes. That's someone's left their shoes. So what have I been up to? Again, speaking to people. Got evening prayer now. Actually fell asleep this afternoon. Having an afternoon nap. Bought a couple of books. Not much. Well, actually I went to a couple of talks this morning. Can't remember actually when I recorded my message. Yeah, just kind of networking. And went to talks. One was good, one didn't really hit me, but that's what happens with these talks. Some resonate with you, some don't. The one by Graham Tomlin really spoke about where we are as a church, so I think I said that a bit earlier. And so now I am going to go to evening prayer, and there's even entertainment and food. I'm getting really stuffed as well. Don't know if I said before that this is a 3-day conference, and we're on day 2 at 3. I'm worried that you've run out of food, but actually I'm really full. Lots of coffee. But I tell you what, having that afternoon nap just really threw me, because I haven't done that for ages and had time to do that, so it's a bit weird. The sun is shining. I'm sitting in the seat next to somebody's shoes, and it's 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 5:30. I don't know what time it is. Actually, the sun out up there is a beautiful blue sky. It's getting nice and warm. So I'm going to go off to have dinner. No, evening prayer, then dinner, and then they got entertainment on tonight. So let's go.
To do an out of flow from Boston not to do-si-do. Get ready now, 'cause here we go.
So I'm out and I'm back and walking around this amazing place. I realised that I didn't really get out and have a look around, so I'm having a look around now. I think I've just been speaking to some people that people have come back to get kind of refreshed, and through COVID it's been quite difficult. But for me it's been very different. It's we well, as a church in my previous church and now, just try to be open and just always moving forward and seeing this as a great opportunity to engage with people in a really difficult time. And that's a bit kind of reflective of where I come through faith through the death of my parents, and so I saw it as a great opportunity. And then I moved churches, and so now it's helping this new church moving forward. So for me this is very much about rest, and so I kind of realising that now I kind of feel very refreshed just after a short time going away on conference, going away on retreat. Sometimes you don't do much, and I think actually when I go on retreat I slow down and really don't do much, because I'm doing a lot of stuff all the other time, and I rest, and I get to a point and I think, wow, God, I haven't looked around, I haven't seen these places. So just come here now, I've got this cross behind me, and so I was just going to the chapel, and that's the way God works, through those things. So yeah, it's not been a video where you've seen much going on, and I'm also aware that, you know, we're on a clergy conference and I'm not going to record things, so I've been bits there, but I suppose it's should have titled it at the beginning as kind of like a retreat for me, and that's how I treated it, and I'll treat it as that as I leave and I go back onto on the motorbike on the way down. So I'm up here in this very peaceful park, and this is the thing, you can see how it's can be used as that kind of retreat place as well as a conference centre, because it's got very beautiful, very peaceful, and they created little areas like so around here to be able to do that. So I feel very refreshed. I've got one more thing to go, and that's getting into like I said earlier, our groups, our areas, and speak about things and pray for each other. So yeah. It's the way it is, isn't it? So I'm going to go off and have a bit more of a wander. So I am back from conference. Took a good while to get back, actually. Got my helmet here again. So it's the type of hair I got, so it's always going to be helmet hair and looking like that. Nice little time drive back. Rainy, but so it wasn't. On the way it was a lot better. Bike's in the garage. Just unpacking. So in the end, we finished by, like I said, speaking with the deanery in our churches about things about the church, the effect of coronavirus, where we are now with all the crisis with fuel prices and food shortages and all this, and inflation so high, and where the church is at, and the learning of the church from coronavirus. So it's a really good discussion, and committed to pray for each other, which is always good as churches. So and people as well. So yeah. So sorry, it wasn't as I thought, but you know, things do change. So it's very much you listening to me, but I'm sure that's okay. So yeah, that's it. So that was conference. And now we're going to go back to work. So next video will be very much about getting back into the parish and living our faith out, proclaiming the gospel of Jesus Christ into a very broken world, and giving hope to people as well. So see you next time. Bye.